When I was younger, I used to spend my time thinking about all the ways that I was going to change the world when I got older and just what the future was going to look like. But now, as I am older, I actually spend a significant amount of brain power just worrying about people not using coasters. So, getting old is fun. Today I'm going to walk you through the process of designing and making some coasters that my kids will love and likely never use. So in today's video, I actually plan to walk you through the entire design phase and my thought process from start to finish, which is not something I normally do. Now, is that worth a like on this video? I don't know. I feel like probably, but you let me know.
Just point, click.
Now, this whole thing started with an experiment as I was asked to make an X-Men belt buckle for a Halloween costume. Now, I ended up doing some very dumb things in the building of that project, but the general idea was I was going to take an FDM printed form that I could basically pour some resin into as sort of like an inlay. And once I had the silver spray paint on it and poured in that glossy black resin, it came out looking pretty darn awesome and only slightly janky. Recently, I've been tempted to take this idea further and try and improve the results. So instead of doing a belt buckle, I'm going to do a coaster, and I'm going to walk you through the process from beginning to end, starting with the design phase. Step one is to find an image you want to work with. Ideally, this should be a vector file, but the one that I found here isn't, so that means there's one additional step. So what I have to do is import this into Inkscape, which is a 100% free and open source application. I'm going to use the trace bitmap option here with the color setting. What it's going to do is it's going to scan each individual color to its own individual layer. So I got to delete all the unnecessary layers. There's too much stuff here. I'm going to get rid of the original file. I'm going to get rid of all these colors that I don't need until I'm down to just the bare essentials. I'll group those together and then save this thing as a vector and import this into my 3D design application. I'm using 123D Design. Please use something more current and supported. From there, I'm going to model a short little cylinder here. That's my coaster. And then I import my SVG as a sketch. Once I had that sketch properly scaled and centered over the coaster, the only thing I had to do was select all of the parts of this image that I wanted to be pink on the final coaster and extrude down 1.5 millimeters, subtracting those out of the coaster. I added a simple fillet around the edge to sort of round things over, and boom, I was ready for printing.
It's okay. Printing.
I printed the coaster on the Creality Halot-Lite in a photo-polymer resin. Now, it's the exact same photopolymer resin that I'm going to use for the inlay on this thing. And that was my wife's idea, to use the same resin for both. Because when I get to the sanding, polishing, and finishing stages, it is going to give me a lot more consistent and uniform finish on this thing if I'm using the same material throughout. Now, keep in mind, if you're doing this for yourself, you do not need to use the same material throughout. You can FDM print the coaster itself and use a UV resin, or for that matter, even an epoxy resin. You can use basically whatever materials you want, but the idea remains the same. All right, let's not get ahead of ourselves, because right now, it's time to make a thing.
Who am I? I'm the greatest. Who am I? I'm getting paid. Who am I? I'm so flagrant. Who am I? I'm the greatest. Who am I? I'm getting paid. Who am I? I'm so flagrant. I'm running the race and I'm faster than them. Yeah, yeah. All of the trash, forget them. I'm running the race and I'm faster than them. Yeah, yeah. All of the trash, forget them. On me, You know I gotta come back. You know I gotta get the racks. You know I gotta get them M's. I'm running the race and I'm faster than them. Yeah, yeah. All of the trash, forget them. I'm running the race and I'm faster than them. Yeah, yeah. All of the trash, forget them.
The sanding and polishing was by far the most important part of this whole process and the most time consuming. In fact, while we're at it, it was also the most expensive part because I had to buy a brand new set of micromesh polishing pads that go from 300 grit all the way up to 12,000. That got me a really good, almost glass-like finish on these. Now, is it perfect? No, but it's already so much better of a surface finish than I've ever gotten on any project I've ever made. So that's pretty cool. Beyond that, I really liked the method of doing this UV resin inlay. I think it's really cool, and I feel like I've kind of unlocked a new skill as a maker.
Really? I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you.
This project's not going to change the world. I know that. But it is a brand new technique that I didn't have before, and it always feels good to just create new tools and new techniques to use later on down the road in bigger and better projects. It's pretty cool to learn. That said, this video, it's done. But you're still here, and do you know what that means? It means you're my favorite viewer of all time. I thank you for sticking around, and hey, I will see you next time. Bye. Not even a little bit ready for this. Okay, I can get there. Pretty awesome and only slightly janky. What's up with you? Focus. My face here. Focus on this. This time I'm going to walk you through it from start. This time.